Okay. I honestly thought I'd make this video without laughing, but the more I was waiting on the which is the 3, 2, 1 countdown, I started remember I started remembering. I started to chuckle a little. Today was funny. So we're gonna talk about some pieces because I've been recording and nothing is recording, so I just don't know what God want me to share, what God don't want me to share. So we're gonna do this choppy. So today was hilarious because something happened today. And so let's start that story and see this. Obviously God wants me to talk about the story. So let's see if he wants me to talk about the details of the story. So I went to where I would normally go, and I saw this person that I wanted to share the story of the consequences that God said if I reject Raheem. On top of the consequences of reject Raheem, the updates of what and things, the stipulations. So that's what I was. So I eventually shared the story of the details of the consequence. Now let's see the consequences, what God want me to share. I think he doesn't because he didn't allow me to tweet about it for a while, but he allowed me to talk about it with her. But then at the same time, I'm wondering if he wants me to share it now because it kind of linked to the other story that happened today. But let's share it and see if it's safe. So while the story I was telling her is that God, some weeks ago when I was all big and bad and telling everybody on my Twitter, I'll link this post there. I don't business. I'm gonna reject Raheem. I'm gonna go to if he ever come to me. Cause God's like it's the time and come to me and say, Daniel, just even say morning. I ain't guessing no. Try even engage in conversation. I'm gonna act like he doesn't exist. And I don't business what God said. I don't business about the consequences. And start listing of the old consequences God would say because of people I was considering to date or people I just thought of to date. It just thought of like just simply it crossed my mind. Oh yeah, be a good idea. And God's like, if you ever this would happen, this would happen, this would happen. And so I'm like, I don't care. And that's how I posted it, right? Oh, so that was the story that was missing from the story. Anyways, so yeah, I posted like, I don't care. I'm not even I was like big and bad like God. I don't give a shit. I don't care what consequences. I don't care. I'm gonna move forward with everything else because you're saying it's basically inevitable. So I posted that. I posted it all confident, like, nothing wrong. Like, I don't care what God does. God can strike me down there. Thank God. That means I get what I want there. And then I went to my page, and the guy's like, alright, it is some consequence I've given you. What about this then? And I'm like, there's no consequence that I would be afraid of. God's like, alright, what if I do this? And what that is I will take away your ability to speak and to move. So can't speak out of nowhere, maybe, and obviously it would be just abnormal, nothing that makes sense, not like a drop on my head type of thing. And I won't be can move scenario. I was like, okay, close to death. And then he's like, Raheem will be the one that will take care of you fully 24/7. And you will do it well, and you will do it as I said. You're like a husband. I was like, I'll still reject him. And God's like, okay. No, and the only way you're gonna get out of it is if you don't reject. Don't reject God, accept him. That's the only way you'll be healed. It's like, in my like, I'm getting upset, but I'm like, been a business, cause I'm like, I've been saying I don't care, big and bad like my butter on God. It's not like I'm butter on God, I'm just frustrated and tired. So I'm like, I don't care. I get what I want plus that crosses. That's all I'm telling you right now. Plus me get to see my two yay them, you know. This crosses when we could tell everybody say no one. Him and his mother or his mother alone. But tell people say, oh me calling myself Mrs. Fowler is sexual harassment and they're going to take me to they're going to charge me. So me if you see my picky item, in my like a husband, me if you see that there. Me no me can't move right now. I always at a loss. Why? So that's how I was reacting. And I was like, alright. You're gonna keep rejecting him even when he's literally being what I said, a husband. I was like, yeah, I'm done. I don't want him. I don't want to be with him. I am done. I don't care how amazing he'll be to take care of me, make sure everything, and make sure I turn me. He'll be maybe crying if I have to get, because if you can't move, you have to get there. You reach for a bag, whatever, and it's gonna be painful, so you can see it on my face, and you be crying or be in pain, and he's just gonna take care of you, and he's affectionate, and I'm like, still will reject him. Do not care. I do not want him. And that maybe is my item. And I still would not accept him as a husband and reject him. So me go on. I think I breathe it down. I sure. So God's like, okay, you will get pregnant. I'm like, what? I'm gonna sweep coming over. God eventually break down the darling, this is not going to be rape. You gonna want it. He might gonna want it. And you both are going to ask for it, whether it's spiritual, and them can move and say yes. And when you do it, a child will be produced. And what you're gonna do now? When you're pregnant and then you're gonna give birth. Also, you can give birth without your decision of what kind of birth you want, because you can't speak, you cannot move. What are you gonna do? Oh yeah, if you reject him, you ain't gonna be healed until you accept him as your husband. That means that child will be raised by other. Guess who huffed and puffed and almost blew this whole house down? The whole night I fought, I punchy bed, I argue with, I ball. Me sleep that night there? Nope. Me pissed off. Me do one day me pissed off. Did I huff and puff and nearly blow this house down? Nearly had. If it was my yard, this a piece of mirror where I look back upon me, would have broke. If I laptop you would have fling in it maybe. Phone, if I find my phone, me fling. Big pillow there upon ground. Anger. I'm a puff. Cause God knows it. And we say so. Me no business so much pride or whatever. Me nah make nobody else waste for me. Pick me. No matter how much pride, ego, pick me. Pick me, pick me. When me birth, then the consequence continues as God starts to break down. So, okay, good. So you see basically that at the end of the day, my will is always done. So even your pride will be dealt with too. Right? So now I'm like, I'm still gonna reject him coming obviously with my head. This your money. And then my name crossed his mother. And I'm explaining the story to this friend. Anyways, and just when I'm done with God, like, yeah, I have to see at least I get to see my own hand. God's like, your child, and I'm like, I still reject and then God said, okay, what about your children that you can adopt? And then he starts showing examples of, if you reject him, you will be hurting them because they need you. and you be paralyzed in your pride. So while I'm like, my children will be missed because I'm going to fine. I'll accept it afterwards, but I have to see with my 2 eyes. I have to see with my 2 eyes. I don't care if I can't move. Or like, well, if you reject them, plus, in all the visions, dreams, and plans, did I tell you that they're going to happen? So if you want to, we can do that story. We can go down that line. But I did not say that's gonna happen. Why? Because if you do it, your current children that you want to adopt, you already develop love for, are going to suffer. And it's going to be harder for you now to adopt them. Guess who was like, so you had this all planned all along. And when my pride come and be like, I don't give a shit. You gotta continue to make sure that I do as you say. This is not fair. Till eventually, after like, I'm still like, it's like, fine, God. That's why, outside of telling the story, you see, notice a change or a tone of change in my tweets of how I refer to them. But then when I was telling the story to the friend now, I wasn't necessarily that change in tone because I was now back in that anger and frustration and how them better do a stipulate because there were more 6 more stipulations, making all 10 stipulations that he has to do, which also helped with the sponsorship. And I was even explaining that gotta explain, say make it easier or whatever if them a man cost his mother do what him say, do where God say and do what me say. Now let's get to the funny part. Now the funny part is now I'm telling this person, I'm giving like attitude to him, like yeah, him and cross his mother. That's how I ended it, because I was like, yeah, him can go along with him and cross his mother. I don't remember how I ended it, but I'm explaining the stipulation without putting the in the description. And guess who walked in the door right as I said that? His mother. Rona literally walked in there. I fixed her umbrella and I literally run to the back of the room, the building, and start laugh, reach the ground and laugh. And he never reached loud laugh until after a while. I did laugh. And eventually even the friend was like, big on board on you, where you afraid? I said, no, but what me I laugh in her face and I me I laugh of her. The situation funny. As well as me not stir up no problem. Maybe I ever start up, me already feel finish it. But at the same time, I'm not stirring up anything. So it's just a matter of I'm talking to you and it happened to be about her. She walked in at the same time. It's funny. And walking at the time I said, cross his mother. As usual. Like the funniest thing. What makes it even funnier is the fact that later in the day, by evening, we all decided to go to KFC after the place closed. And we decided to go to KFC after where we were closed. And I wasn't even sure I was gonna eat all day, and God was just delaying me from eating or where to go. It's like he must say, "Wait," he's not saying anything, but he's saying, "Don't go." I'm like, okay. I don't know, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get out of my KFC, woolly puppet in I line and get Friday, so it makes sense. So we're there waiting now for our order, and then I look over and I see this person look dead stamp like Raheem. And this time is not like one of those times I mentioned where I'm just like shaking my head. I literally, the other time I have to shake my head, close my eyes, do this. And they're like, oh, it's not Raheem. This person has a similar face structure, weird head shape maybe as Raheem, but his face is rounder. I was like, Raheem face no wrong. Why you look just like Raheem? Raheem, my brother. Oh yeah, my brother, but the brother was supposed to be young. What? Is that right? And he's looking at me not like how Ryan would look at me, right? But I was like, but he looked at me kind of like how Ryan looked at me the first time he saw me. But at the same time, he's looking at me like I'm familiar, and I'm just like, that's definitely not right. But like at the same time, he looked like Ryan. and the way he responded, he's not like right. What? So not, I'm sometimes like kind of you're not staring at the person. You have a friend here and you look by other, you kind of gaze over, kind of like whatever, and you can. It's kind of like when you like somebody kind of check them out, but you check them out indirectly, right? So he's noticing that I'm noticing it, and yeah, I'm noticing that he's noticing me. But I'm like, dude, does it look like right? What the hell? He's got even putting people who look like right around me. What the? Then what even made it work? But I'm like, no man, no Raheem, face no wrong. I'm like, and they said that Raheem, I'm not going to spend in that space. I'm going to focus on getting my food because I'm hungry. So I stopped thinking about it and whatever. Then the person started moving like Raheem in the sense that after a while, when I think he like I see the reaction like Raheem would get a rejection. But it's not like direct rejection, it's just like the person don't like or whatever. And got an iPhone like on Raheem would, and the straight iPhone don't want to be distracted, kind of like Raheem would. So I'm like, and the way he did that, he just kind of zoned now back to whatever. But the fact that this person is in KFC make it even worse. But it's not Raheem because Raheem wouldn't go to KFC. He'd rather go to the supermarket unless he's going with friends and somebody else wants, and he'll just go because. But if it was up to him, his choice, he's going to a supermarket. Now, one of the other reasons I kind of liked him too. But anyways, that meme by himself going to KFC, unless that's somebody sending him, but still, like, I don't think it's really sending. That just seemed foreign. Like that don't make sense. So I'm like, so now by the time he leaves, the person leaves the KFC, I was like, well, eventually the whole situation why me and KFC even for a long while kind of resolved, and I end up waiting on somebody to pick me up, and I decided to step out when I think they should reach. No, by the time I step up, I said, no man, that person like, no man, really, I think, what is it really Raheem? It need to be weird if like while I'm see, but I'm like, it can't be Raheem because when the mother was by the place, because she stayed for a good couple minutes, like maybe 15 minutes, and on the phone was all XYZ, which is Ryan's nickname that him family call him. It really no, you know about to come out tired. So like, I don't Ryan, he wouldn't come out no, cause at night no, he wouldn't come out. I'm just like, let me make sure. Let me go back to all pictures that I have of Ryan. Coming no Ryan face no round, it's straighter, longer. So I'm like, let me double check. So I went no, and I'm scrolling through my phone, and I say, okay, I'm certainly not Raheem. Okay, it's not Raheem, and whatever. And I was like, okay, maybe he has a brother. No, I'm there processing. Oh, he has a brother. What the box said? It could be the brother. Oh yeah, because his brother would have been in like some part of high school, maybe first form, which means that by the time he 3 years later, he should be in third form. So it could be him. Look like, because he does, that boy look like, that person looked like a young version of Raheem. Like, when I met him, kind of Raheem. But without the beard, Raheem. But round face, Raheem. And I'm thinking all this. I don't think all this. I turned to, I see this lady passing and asking about a specific taxi. Right behind this lady asking, is Raheem Fowler? The same Raheem, I'm wondering if it's him. I'm look on picture and was see not the person that Raheem I walk past me in a blue shirt. I'm frightened. It's not like frightened, like jump. Because like, I'm kind of react like more than was like, and then by the time pass, I go so much eventually because we start laugh. It's like, what the fuck? What is wrong with God? Like, why is it that we talk about him, mother? His mother show up right. Then me, I think about him and me, I process something, I like double check for him. I him that walk past me and cross the road and that. I know say pass me to, he make sure he's like, man. I make sure he didn't. It's not even like I know how we would respond. He had different response based on different things. And there is I don't want you to see me kind of, hopefully you don't see me, I don't need to register it's me, but I know you register. And this is I am me, and I walk past. And I was like, let me all wonder if I really am brother. Because after all these YouTubes and videos where I actually post this picture and everything, and I've heard of his father being upset, and I know he has a younger brother, and blah blah by his father's side, and whatever. If that's the case, then maybe everybody know what I look like and was wondering if it was me. And when they realize it's me, and maybe him text him. So that's why I say he showed up, which is about almost an hour later. It was because of it. But who knows if that's the case? But just the fact that as I was literally like, is that right? Was he in there? And it was not the same shirt, or I knew from his face, even looked mager. Who walked past me was Raheem. Who was in KFC was not Raheem. But look dead stamp like he round face. I mean, I say even one day we have a twin. But anyways, it's like, oh, and today's is so funny. Like, but then I got a little triggered, and then, yeah, let's just process this. It's hilarious. Like, but then while laughing, eventually I got triggered because not that I was jealous. It's not about jealousy because I don't get jealous. You want to be someone else or you're entertaining someone else, cool. I'll make the space for you, her to be there, and I'll take on myself, right? So no, because of how he, the person before him was acting about, especially taxi or bus, and then right as the person enters the, or it's a girl, into the vehicle, I see him go beyond the vehicle and cross the road, right? And then I don't end up registering. I'm not watching them. Just they end up being right in front of me. And obviously, I kind of got triggered. Not out of jealousy. It's more like, seriously, yeah, me out here. Literally. And it made me wonder if it's the devil triggering me because he wants to. Yeah, maybe it's not even, even don't even know the person, but at the same time, who knows? But at the same time, I don't know. I'm just so tired. Like, tired. And it's just the fact that, yeah, God will be telling me and giving me so many consequences and making me all, okay, I'm here. Like, he could be dating other people and other things. Anyways, I don't know. That triggered me, and I almost got back to my angry state. And it made me even say, yo, if they ever take too long with the stipulations and obeying God and everything, I might just get to the point where I don't give a shit. And be like, I am sorry, my children who will feel it at the beginning, but fuck this shit. Like, today was funny, but at the same time, while the reality check eventually come back. No, 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 no. I'm tired. Time. It's time. It's either they're ready to do this shit, or I'm just so fucking done. Like, I'm done. Like, and like the way I got triggered today, I was like, yo, fuck this shit. But then I was like, you know what? Let me just give that one more time. Before I say, let me just, cause I'm not there yet. But when I'm there, remember this is me no business. Cause I gotta go use that same one consequence. Cause that's me. And fine. That's when I have a child. Fine, I'll have the child, and I will say, fine, you are my husband, and I move accordingly. Boo, 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 boo. And then I have to fight court and whatever to help those children. Fine. But I'm tired of being triggered. Like, bro, like, because I hate just even being in a space where I don't know anything. I don't even know if. I hate